gravity of the perspective of the astronomer say, in the moon. When the astronomer is in the moon, his perspective changed to the 1 kilo gold. He will say, no, it's not 1 kilo, it's half kilo gold. 1 kilo gold equal to half kilo gold. Perspective change. Because here in our earth, our perspective is 1 kilo gold is 1 kilo gold. It is a mathematic of our perspective. Now it becomes relative. It's not reality. Now you take the same 1 kilo gold, half kilo gold, to the space. How much kilo it is? 0.000. There's no kilo at all in the space. Now perspective change. Same thing, perspective change. No? But how it has 1 kilo gold in the earth?
1 kilo.
Because the gravity gives the value. Right? The more gravity it is, the more heavy it becomes. Simple logic. Less gravity, less value. More attachment, more value.
More gravity.
Less attachment, less value. For Buddha, all the samsaric world has no value. Because there's no gravity in his mind. Simple. But when you have a gravity, everything becomes very important. Toilet paper becomes very important. Maybe not here, but you go to the nature in the mountain. Because I went with the children, children is their young adult, like 15 people in Bhutan, and somewhere we have to stop in the forest, just for the nature, and then we forgot to bring toilet paper. It was very difficult for them. For me, it was easy because I am used to. The toilet paper becomes very, very important in this kind of movement. Same logic. The more gravity you have, then you make it very important. Therefore, object is never been important. It's never been a problem of our what to say, not getting out from the samsara. The object, the material, were never been the problem. The gravity is the problem. The attachment is the problem. The more you have, it can be. Having a big car and having nothing has nothing to do with the gravity. When you have you can have a good car with less gravity, and you can have nothing and lot of gravity. There are people who are very poor and dream a lot. Therefore, it's a gravity thing. It's very important. So at the end, how many it weighs? 1 kilo gold.
Depends on the perspective.
Yeah, but this perspective are all relative. That means in reality, 1 kilo gold has no kilo at all. It doesn't exist until you give it. When it doesn't exist, what do we call it in Buddhism?
Emptiness.
Emptiness. This is how the entire idea is. Gold did not disappear. The size did not disappear. The form did not disappear. Therefore, what is say in the Prajna Paramita?
Form.
Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is no other than form. Form is no other than emptiness. Simple logic. You don't disappear the form. Form is always there. Emptiness is not nothingness. This is what always taught by Buddha. So therefore, form is all there. You don't give the value. You don't give the quantity. You don't give quality and quantity. Absence of quality and quantity is emptiness. The moment you give quality and quantity, then you are screwed. The moment you give quality quantity, then we are screwed. Quality. The moment we give the quality quantity, we call it duality. When you don't give nothing, you just look to the object, and you see nothing there. No quality, no quantity. That's called non-duality. Non-duality is very simple. It's very, very different than what in Christian, I don't know, but in Hinduism, they have also a non-duality explanation. But Hinduism non-duality has nothing to do with Buddhism non-duality. Because in the Hinduism non-duality, they cannot cut the ultimate existence. But in the, because they have no method to cut it. So therefore, many of the Hindus practice, especially who are practicing Vedas, they have a little bit problem at the end. They always have, because they know it cannot be a duality in the ultimate meditation in Hinduism. But at the same time, they are seeing subject and object. So now non-duality and subject and object is a duality already. And it's very much confusion state. But in the Buddhism, we have a very much special technique, especially in the Dzogchen. So usually there are some friend of Hindu, they come to see me with this kind of problem. Whenever they come, I said nothing much to them. I give some Dzogchen texts because they are very good practitioners, and Dzogchen texts are very good for these Vedas practitioners. So Dzogchen is just simply how to let go those duality thought in the mind. Because in the Hinduism, it does not allow, according to their meditation capacity, this doesn't allow to cut the duality. But they say you have to cut the duality. But practice does not allow, because practice always said subject and object, because there's God and Son. God and Son is already subject and object. You know, there's nothing called one. There's always two, Father and Son in the Christian. But Christian has not that much capacity like Hinduism. Hinduism is very strong. In Hinduism, through meditation, they can go. But when they go very deep inside, when they reach to the subject and object point, that is the confusion. So this is what we call it, the desire realms. You heard, huh?
Yeah.
There are three kind of beings in the samsara. Desire realms beings, we are all the six class of the beings, which we are saying. If you don't understand, you can ask me a question, okay? 6 class of being means hell beings, and then hungry ghosts or preta beings, and animal beings, human being, God being, and demigod beings. These 6 beings, we call it the desire, the beings from the desire realms. After that one, within the category of the God, not the creator God, okay? The God of the concept in Hinduism. So within the God, then they will separate another 2 God, which is called form God, which is very much physical, very handsome, very tall, taller than him, maybe 10 times taller than him. Okay. And then they have a natural physical, silence kind of nature. So therefore they are already in the samadhi, meditation. So this is why we call it the form realms God. And then after that there is a formless God. God does not have a body, but there's just a one consciousness. So this consciousness, how they practice is, there's only this consciousness and the space. But space has no limit. So therefore, space has no limit. This is just their one single point in meditation. So, but there's always consciousness as in space, subject and object. And then, Namshetai. His consciousness and the consciousness. Because his consciousness, the one who is perceiver, and then other one is what we call it? Perceiver, and then persevere. Persevere. Yeah. Okay, I cannot.
Perceiver and perceived.
No.
Persevere is iemand die
Persevere
doorzetten.
is the subject. And what is the object we call it?
Perceived.
Perceived.
Oh.
Perceiver, perceived.
Yeah. So there is a consciousness, one who perceive, and then there's another conscience as an object of the perceiver. 2 things. There is true consciousness. But this consciousness has no limit. It's vast. Therefore, they stay in a consciousness is too vast. This is one single point in meditation. But it's still duality. And this meditation has no capacity to cut that duality. But they're stuck there. And then Chiang Mepa, nothingness. Consciousness and the nothingness. And then after that, Yemin Memin. How can I translate this one? Yemin Memin. There is and there is not. Something like that. So, this also is like an emptiness. But this meditation does not allow to cut it. So there you are always in a duality state, because between these two, they have always a concept of God, existence. This is what they were told from the beginning, that no matter all the samsara things maybe not exist, but God exists. Brahma exists, Vishnu exists, and then Shiva exists. Vishnu as a creator, Brahma as a maintainer, and then Shiva as a destroyer. These three gods always exist in the ultimate existence. This is what the practitioners were told. So therefore, whenever they see nothing in this two, and then the concept of God comes between, duality. This happens. But in the Dzogchen, it tells us this God is no longer there from the beginning, emptiness, for example. And it's very powerful during the chakra meditation. When you do the chakra meditation, you can go up to here, but if you are really, really profound going there, from when you reach here, then it is always a subject and object thing. There's nothing. Because your mental energy is already long time gone. Mental energy means the projector and the projection, because this is concept. Concept was long time gone when you are practicing Tsalung. That means you are a superior practitioner. This concept and all you do in the beginning stage. So you have done all that one. It's no longer there. So when you are doing in the Tsalung practice on like that, this subject and object, the duality, can come all the time. And it is always a big challenge for the practitioners. Some practitioners go crazy that time. And then emptiness. Or the if I took the Mahayana what to say, way of expression, it's called emptiness. In the Vajrayana way of expression, it is called Chiang Maimpala, Chiang Rua. Nothing is there, but everything is possible. And then if we took it in the highest level, then we call it Kadak, the purity, or Hindup, innate nature. And then also, then if you go to the very high term, you can just call it Dzogchen, the omnipresent. Simple as that, you know. So these are very, very important practice of emptiness in a time to time. In every practice, it helps. Very important. That's why I put the question of this the example of the 1 kilo gold. The same it goes with the quantity. And then even 1 kilo gold is no longer 1 kilo gold. You all know now. You all know, huh?
Yeah.
But you can make a mistake again. Tomorrow you will go to the shop. If you have a lot of money to want to buy not a 1 dollar, you want to buy a 1 kilo gold. You will ask to the shopper, I want to buy 1 kilo gold. Oops. This we call it what to say, the habitual tendency. You know it is not 1 kilo gold, but you have a tendency of saying 1 kilo gold. In the Bodhisattva path, or the Buddhism path, we have a 5 path. You know, huh? You know? In Buddhism, when a meditator, when they want to become a Buddha, you all want to become Buddha. We all want to become Buddha. To become Buddha, we have a 5 process. First part, second part, third part, fourth part, and fifth part, we call it. First part, then you you engage in more in the accumulations. And then in the second part, then you engage more in a concentration meditations. And then the third part, then you start to see the realities. And the fourth part, then you maintain what you have seen, the reality. And the fifth part, you gain the realization. This is called 5 part. And during in the third part, you see, we call it the seeing part. You see the reality emptiness. But still, Bodhisattvas, when they see the emptiness in the third part, but still they can attach to the things which they see there's no value. That's possible. You know, in the meditation we see this is no value today, and tomorrow you go to the city, it comes up again. This we call the tendency. So in the fourth part, then one have a 9 step of meditation, 9 stage. Then you do first step meditation, you maintain that understanding, and then you go to the second, you maintain that understanding, you go to the third, you maintain that understanding until to 10 step. Maintain. Then only your habit change. You know, like a astronomer. You know, the first day when they reach to the moon, they realize, oh, it's just 0.6 kilo. It's not 1 kilo. And then today they realize, and then after that they eat lunch, and then tomorrow they eat lunch, dinner, and then day third, maybe suddenly one friend will say, where's 1 kilo gold? You know, by mistake. Oops. This happens. You know? So we call it Gomlam. The fourth part, Gomlam, is maintaining the meditation path. So the process, if you know the philosophy very well, the process is very, very clear. And the more clear you are, the more you know what happened during the meditation. That is why when we don't know much, then we need a teacher. Teacher will always tell you what kind of stage you are, what is happening in your situation at this moment, and then they can tell you if you want to go forward, or if you have to U-turn, or if you have to stop there. The experienced teacher can tell you. While we are not that much experienced, like that. Okay, so now. Okay, so yesterday we talked about in general what is refuge, and then we talk about if you want to take refuge, vow, you have to know the reason why you are taking refuge. Because the more you know the reason, the more commitment you are, the more you are, the commitment will be very strong, because you know the reason why. The less you know the reason, then your refuge cannot be that much strong and stable. It is much more shaky. And then the reason yesterday which we talked, we give the 2 reasons of why we take refuge. The first reason is knowing that there is a kind of fear in the mind that you are being alone, that you have to work yourself out when you die. During the time of death and dying, all the family, friends will be surrounded you, but they are not going anywhere. You are going alone. Sometimes in the Tibetan concept, we call it here, here, falling apart from the butter. When the Tibetan, when they make the butter, sometimes there's a here, and then we throw it. But I think Western people never understand this idea because we don't do this one. Don't. But in Tibet, when they throw the here, is she Tibetan? You are Tibetan? No, huh? Okay. Because in Tibetan, when you throw the hair from the butter, it just go like this. But usually all the hair goes like that, That means you are all alone. You are by yourself. When this moment comes, you are all by yourself. Then the fear is there. This kind of fear when you have, when you know the reason, then especially if you look to the church, monasteries in Nepal, in India, Bhutan, you go and see there, you go to the church, you will see a very few young people, but you will see many old people there. Because they know they have a very limited time. So maybe they can get some insurance from the church, from the monastery, security, after they die. They believe that way. That is why many old people are not far from the church, not far from the monastery they live. This is how they looked. Because they have little fear of, if I die, my money cannot help, my family cannot help. Maybe spiritual can help. They hope. The hope comes. So therefore, when we know the reason why I take the refuge, then we know the reason that we are in the samsara, that we need to free ourselves from this fear of the samsara, from the fear. We know that we can make a lot of misjudgment in the practice level. And we need to take some special spiritual guardians. Like, I don't know, like last time I said, most of the time we know the answer, but we don't want to take risks. We want somebody to tell you, take it. If it goes right, then you will take it, you keep shut. If it doesn't go right, you can blame to the other person. Usually it is psychological, I'm talking. In the spiritual level, it's also the same thing. When we feel like there is some kind of a Rinpoche or something backing you, then you gain the confidence and you take it. And it is not your decision at all. It is them. If things go wrong, if things go right, you will say nothing. You will not give much credit to them. It is, you say, it's my decision. But it's okay. This is how psychology works. Refuge, they are all psychology things. So therefore, like this, that this kind of difficulties, if I face, I need a protector. I need a protection. So therefore, I want to take refuge. These reasons make you much more strong reason why you need to take refuge. When you take refuge to one Rinpoches, one Lamas, or something like that, then when the reason is that if I follow him, I'm sure that he has so much technique, method, understanding, knowledge that he can give me in my time of need. Therefore, I need to take refuge in him. This is how we usually need to go. So therefore, the first reason is the fear. When you see the fear, then you take refuge. The second reason is that after that, the moment you have a fear, it's one side of the coin. Then other side of the coin automatically need to arise. Faith. Faith in the fear, or faith in the doubt. Doubt is a fear. Doubt and faith is same. It is a two faces of one single coin. Until you have a doubt, you are in the samsara. Until you have a faith, you are also in the samsara. Faith gives a little bit hope. But faith is something like you are here and there is somebody, but you are not there. This complete idea of the faith. Because once you are there, you does not need to have trust to somebody else. You can trust yourself. But faith works that way. So we need faith also. Beginner practitioners, advanced practitioners, we need a faith until you become a Buddha. One day you become a Buddha, you don't need it. You have to give that out, give up that one. If you don't give up that one, then you are again doomed, screwed. Sure. That's why in Zen tradition they say you need to kill what? Kill the Buddha. If you don't kill the Buddha, you don't become a monk. No, Buddha. In a monastery we say some senior monks, they are little bit, oh, the young monks, they are going out. And some of the young monks say, the senior monks, they are not staying in the monastery, they are going out and then getting married, and then they just leave the monk. And I said, it's very nice. If the senior monk don't go, the junior monk will never become a senior monk. And then the rotation will be broken. Because the junior monk becomes senior, and then the newcomer, we can put them in the monastery because there's a place for junior. The system runs. It's nothing big deal, But it does not go that one. Then it becomes like a what to say, the Zen monasteries, I don't know really Zen, but like a monasteries in Korea. Big monastery with 2-3 monks, because there's not much rotation is happening. So these 2-3 monks are very old in the Christian monasteries. I've been there with 18 monks, Tibetan monks, and they have 20 Christian monks. These monks who never go out. I sleep there in their monastery underground, 3 days. The youngest of the Christian monk, he was 63. From the Tibetan monk, the oldest, it was me. I'm talking about 12 years ago. That means I'm very, very, very young. It's like that. And then they are a little bit worried, because after they die, there will be nobody to take care of it. So like that. So therefore, until you don't kill that Buddha, you don't become a Buddha. But to kill that Buddha, you need to kill this believing external Buddha. This is what it is. That's why yesterday I gave the example of the faith. That there may be sun, there may be dry grass, but if there is no magnifying glass, you cannot produce a fire. The same thing, there is a billions of Buddha and Bodhisattva looking towards you, wanting to help you, and you are here wanting, expecting the help. Everything is okay, but it's not making any link. Connection is not making there. The missing point is the devotion. Until you don't have devotion, you don't get anything blessing from the external. This is what we talked yesterday. Now, the question comes, why the power of the sun, utilizing with the condition by this magnifying glass, one can make fire on the grass, and why not on the water? That's the question. Answer is very simple, because grass has a potential to make a fire while water don't. Water does not have that capacity. That is why we cannot produce fire. Maybe on the surface, if you put the petrol or something like that, maybe, but the real water, you cannot make fire there, because water does not have a capacity to make fire. Why water does not have a genetic, I can say genetic?
Yes, right.
To make a fire genetic, does not have. That is why we cannot make a fire there. The same thing, why if I have a strong devotion, I can receive all these blessings from Buddha and Bodhisattva, while some rock cannot receive it. Because in my mind, there is a genetic kind of nature that is very similar to that one. You know, Buddha, all the Buddha and Bodhisattva, and what I have is very similar, which we call it Buddha nature. Because I have a Buddha nature, and then because I have a faith, because they are there, and because I am willing, everything comes together. That is a beautiful day. So therefore, I can receive all this blessing because I have a Buddha nature. But we didn't know. We don't know we have this one. We know at the moment right now, but we don't believe it still. If we believe it, it won't be this situation. We know we have a Buddha nature, but in our consciousness, thousands of questions is there. Only we will know it if you meditate it, because the more you meditate, the more doubt comes. Because you are experiencing the things inside, and you have another experience outside world. So when these two comes together, it does not fix together. The question arises. The more question you arise, it's better. Understand? To understand the thing very well. So therefore, this thing is hidden there, but we didn't know. That is why we need to take refuge, because those like a Buddha, Bodhisattva, Sanghas, they are experienced people. They have been there. They were once like us, who knows nothing. And they practice, they meditate, they realize, they gain this understanding. They have experience. That is why they know where it is hidden. It is like a, in a classic example in the text, it says, like, a poor man, underneath of his house is hidden a gold. This is a very classic example, I think you heard it many times. You know, he is actually not a poor man, because if he know underneath of his house there's a gold, big gold, he is a rich man. But he did not know that there's a gold. That was the problem. You know, it's like same like a treasure hunter. You know, that's like some pirate. Long time ago, like many rich men in the ship. You know, they take a lot of gold, and then the ship was destroyed, disappeared somewhere else, and then people are hunting this ship now. And then ship was destroyed there, like the flight of the Malaysian flight, which is disappeared, for example. Maybe it is somewhere not far, and all the entire world is looking in Russia, looking in, I don't know, in Australia, but maybe it is somewhere just next to there. So it's the same thing just now. All the practitioners, we are looking Buddha here and there, and then all. This is what we are doing. But only the experienced one who has been there, they know where there is, and they feel very sorry for us. Because they know, for example, the teacher know, what's your name?
Kitsum.
Hmm?
Kitsum.
I'm not asking the Tibetan name.
Oh, sorry.
What is it? Okay, Kizom, doesn't matter. So, like a master when look to the Kizom, because you ask a lot of questions, huh? So I feel so much pity. How sorry this girl is. She asks a lot of questions. Answer is just there, for example, you know. So it is automatically for the object of our refuge not to have compassion is impossible. They feel so much compassion, and they feel like how stupid these people are from the samsara. Buddha is just inside, and we are looking outside. Happiness is just inside, and we are looking outside. This is what happened. This is what all the refuge idea is all about at the end. So therefore, like a treasure hunter, you know, whether best skillful treasure hunter, they know where the goals are. And then there are many local treasure hunters, they are looking here and there, and then they feel so sorry for them. They are looking there, gold is just here, I know it. And then if those people take refuge in this big treasure hunter, then they will give some advice. Maybe you should do this one, that one. This what happened. Same logic. So like that, finally, with the devotion, then we try to seek the blessing, the idea, their knowledge we demand. So, because I'm going to talk this more later, because refuge is very tricky thing if you don't understand it. It can be like because you are brought up, you are Western people, so therefore you are brought up as a Christian by nature. You have a Christian background is there. I know you have been practicing the Buddhism a lot, but still this background is there. So this can be very much tricky when the situation comes. So therefore, I think I'm going to talk this a little bit more about this one. So whatever it is, the most important for the beginner, the devotion is very important. Knowing that there is somebody who can do something. Knowing that you have a potential. When we all is combined together, the devotion can be very strong. And then devotion, we call it devotion or faith?
Devotion.
Devotion is a good word. Huh? Mm-hmm. So, when you have a very strong devotion, it is in the Buddhism. It always says, some of my teachers says to me, I don't believe in Christian, but I believe in the belief of the Christian. They believe after they die they go to heaven, and they can go to heaven. But maybe that's not exactly what the Bible is saying, but they have an idea in the mind, the heaven might be this and that. It is possible. You can produce it, because the mind is very powerful. When you believe it, you become it. This is one of the Buddhism logic. If you believe, you become. Believe, you become. All we are here because we have one individual karma and a collective karma. Because we believe in collective karma, that's why we are all here. We believe that one, we become this one. Yeah, that's one classic example in the Buddhism story. I think you know, but we can just go on. Is that in Tibet there is a mother and son, and then the son always go to do a business in India. Whenever he go to India, the mother asks to the son, since you are going to India, and then I know you will pass by the place where Buddha has been, and then I'm sure that since you are a good businessman, you can bring a teeth of Buddha so that I can practice very well, that I have an offering object, that I can feel like Buddha is there. And then son say, okay. And then every time he go to India, when he come back, what happened is he always forget, right? And then one day, mother said, if you don't, this time if you don't bring, I will suicide. I will die. And then he went to India, and he forget. He came back, and he is seeing his village from the mountain down there. And suddenly he remembered, oh, my mother said that one, and I forgot to bring the Buddha's teeth. Now he was a little bit worried because his mother could suicide for his this small mistake. Then he didn't know what to do, and then finally he saw just next to the path a dog who died for a long time ago. A teeth was there, dog's teeth, the big one. and he took this big tooth with him, and then he said, "Ah, mother, this time I managed to bring the Buddha's teeth. It is very expensive, and then it was very difficult to get it in India, but finally I managed it. So I hope you'll be very happy." Mother was so happy, and then she started to put this teeth on the altar, and then she prays with a lot of devotion. And then what happened? From the teeth, the blessing started to, the nectars start to fall. Maybe some rainbows, like this happened. So this explains all the answers. It's not because the teeth is very important. It's not the 1 kilo gold is important. It is how you project it. Devotion project as an extraordinary. The way devotion sees something extraordinary. That's the entire idea. Here we are talking spiritual. Spiritual means something which is not ordinary experience. We are talking about extraordinary experience. If you want to experience the extraordinary, you need to have an extraordinary recipient. You see? The mind should be extraordinary. If your mind is a box like what we are set up in the school, then people from outside will see you like a crazy people. What is this crazy people? What is this white and red? People will think this is crazy because their mind is already set up with boxed. Yeah? So if you want to see something spiritual, extraordinary experience you want, then you need to have an extraordinary view. That's the only way to go through. So extraordinary comes from the devotion. When you do, when you start your devotion, you start to believe that way, and it is that way. Finally, it's always your perception. This is what in the Buddhism text is always mentioned that way. And then so therefore, in the Buddhism text, now I'm going with the text again from Jigme Lingpa. He said, "How can I develop the devotion?" Now we go to the practice level. Yesterday we talked about you sit like 2-3 minutes, and then think about what is the reason why I take refuge. So the reason comes always fear and the devotion. But here in this one, if you want to know about the fear, then you just look to the suffering. It's enough to produce the fear in the mind. And then you need a secure. Then devotion is perfect. So devotion and fear goes along together somehow. When you have these two, then you are willing to take refuge. It's happening. And then the question comes, how can I develop my devotion? There are 4 kinds of devotions is explained in the text. As if you are a beginner, it says the longing kind of faith. You are longing, you are expecting, or kind of like a inspirational devotion. That means when we see the stories, hear the stories of the masters, especially like the Buddha's story of his physical appearance, it's very important. When Dalai Lama was asked, next life, if you are somebody asks, the 15th Dalai Lama could be girls or not? Dalai Lama answer was girl, no? You heard this one? People ask, if it is possible to become a 15th Dalai Lama, a girl Dalai Lama, not a man Dalai Lama. And Dalai Lama said, yes, why not? It's possible. 15th Dalai Lama could be a girl. But if it is girl, I want the most beautiful girl in the world. Because it's attractive. This is how people start to follow. Because if it's not attractive, then this girl will have a lot of challenge in the life to deal with. You need to be very much attractive, tall, strong. Then half of your work is already done. And then after that one is experience. You know? So for the beginner, it should be very much attractive. It is always like that. This is how human psychology, human brain works. There's no other way around. And then Buddhism teaching is not for the Buddhas. It's for the samsaric being. So it should be the teaching should be adapted to the samsaric being's mentality. So first way of approaching is it should be very much attractive. You know? So that is why I say taking refuge is very tricky. Because sometimes you take refuge because the master is very handsome. Sometimes you take refuge because master is very much popular. And sometimes you take refuge because his teaching is very nice. There are many reasons of taking refuge, but it's okay. You know, it's okay. This is very attractive at the beginning. So therefore, when we hear the stories because I don't know much, I do not spend much about with Namkar Rinpoche, I cannot tell much stories. But there are like stories that we all know Khenpo Rinpoche. So much inspiration. Like even from his body, if you look, big, and if you look to the hand, his hand is so lovely, and his hand, when he does like it, it reaches to the knees. No human being reach, not even him. He's tall, but he cannot reach. Can you?
What?
You stand up,
Stand.
and then put your hand on the knees. No, don't go down.
No.
Okay, you cannot.
Sorry.
Khenpo Rinpoche can reach to his knees, and then his finger is just like this, you know, like we see in the Buddha's statue in the Buddha's finger, you know, it's like that.
Yeah.
So lovely. Already physical is there, attraction is there. Then if you look to the in the miracles way, then Khenpo Rinpoche has shown so much miracles physically. When we are in the monastery, I was not there, but many of our senior monks were there, and there was a big rock in front of the monastery that nobody can pick it up. Khenpo Rinpoche suddenly come and he picked this up, and everybody was so shocked, like that. Also, I heard that when the first time when Dalai Lama, when all the Tibetans came to India, they start to give every month one of the schools chief, they have to give some kind of Buddhism teaching. And it was a time of Nyingmapas. So head of the Nyingmapa was Tenyo Rinpoche. But when Tenyo Rinpoche was young, he was very shy man. Tenyo Rinpoche is very shy. So it was Tenyo Rinpoche's time, and everyone was looking to Tenyo Rinpoche as you, because you are the chief of the Nyingmapa. He was very young, of course. And Tenyo Rinpoche accepted. So 1 week, he said now it will happen after 1 week. And Tenyo Rinpoche was suddenly said, no, I'm not going to do it. Because there will be like 20,000 geshes from Giluk hearing what the Rinpoche is saying, and he was a very shy man at that time. And he said, no, I don't want to do. He refused suddenly. And then everybody now looked to the Khenpo Rinpoche. Maybe Rapsal Dawa can do. That time Khenpo Rinpoche is just known as a Rapsal Dawa. It's not even popular. Rapsal Dawa can do it. And there everybody looked to Rapsal Dawa and he said, okay, I will do it. So 3 days left. But Khenpo Rinpoche is not preparing anything for the talk, you know. And every of the Nyingma master was so worried. Oh, he's not preparing anything. What is he going to say there? So in the final day, I heard that Khenpo Rinpoche offered a conch in the public with Dalai Lama there, with a lot of thousand, like 10,000 or something cases, and all the master of Nyingma Kachuen all there. And Khenpo Rinpoche was just in the middle. He offered a conch, and I heard conch automatically blew itself. This is how Dalai Lama was so, what to say, touched. This is how Dalai Lama and Khenpo Rinpoche become the student and the teacher and student relationship, because of this so much attractive. It's important sometimes. When teacher shows miracles, it's very much touching. Student feel very, student of this master feel very much proud. You know, this is very normal. It is human behavior. It's okay. So this time the Khenpo Rinpoche, the conch blew itself. Everyone was shocked. And the talk was for 2 hours. Khenpo Rinpoche started talk, non-stop. And then I heard that it took whole day, that no one in the temple want to leave the temple, because when you are not in a this kind of talk is like a public conference, because you are in Nyingmapa talking to the Giluk. And Giluk will just try to follow 2 hour session, because it is arranged that way. After that one, they will go away if they don't like, because it's not a teacher and student relationship talking here. But when Khenpo Rinpoche talk, all the geshe were listening. It's like it says like Khenpo Rinpoche was a leader, and all those people was leading in the experience. Whenever Khenpo Rinpoche is saying, it's not like a like intellectual, it was like experience. And they are going inside. And nobody want to go for the toilet or eating for lunch or like that. Whole day, this happened, you know. So that's why these are all so much attractive, and this can give a lot of inspiration for the people. So this kind of thing happened when we meet the spiritual master. It's always like that, you know. When every spiritual master has this kind of capacity, always have, you know, like that. Also, you can go and visit the sacred places, temples, or the group of people who practice. You know, when somebody who is very new comes, wow, this is something very unique. I like it. When you go to India, Nepal, Bhutan, you will see how people are just gathering in the spiritual place, like a sacred place, and you see, wow, how they do the practice. At this age, they don't even have the cushions. They are sitting on the rock, on the mud. Still they are doing practice. This will give you so much courage, and then more willing. So this kind of faith, we call it inspirational faith. That if you want to develop, then you have to see the teachers, you have to go to spiritual friends, you have to listen of people how they experience about their experience in the Dharma. And this will give you so much motivated. So this is first way of how to develop the faith and the devotion. Okay. Now second way is we call it desire, kind of like longing. Now you are more spiritual person. So if you are more spiritual person, now you should be like, I wish, because of Buddha and Dharma and Sangha, I wish that I be free from all this suffering. And then I wish that I attain enlightenment. I wish that I can do more activities, positive activities for myself and for others. This kind of belief you need to develop within yourself. This we call it a longing kind of devotion. This we can do it. And then after that one, the third one we call it the conviction devotion. That means complete trust devotion. So that moment, it is like knowing that Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, or our root master, is very unique. He has something that nobody has. This is what I wanted. And that is the only reason I want it. Not how he looks, not how he talks, not how he behaves. These are all secondary. There's only one thing that I see in him and I want it. His experience, his understanding of the reality, his way of experiencing those reality. This I want it. Not how he talks, not who he is, what he does after the teaching. This is not important. These are all secondary. This is a big challenge. It can be very tricky. The person because spirit is spiritual trust. If you feel like you are betrayed by spiritual trust, a person can go to very strong depression than any other trust. Spiritual trust is very, 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 very profound. So therefore you need to know how it is. Because for my teacher, root master, Rabja Rinpoche, I don't care a single thing about what he does. He is drinking 10 bottles of wine, I don't care. He is a monk, but he is having like a 10 girlfriend or 20 girlfriend, I don't care. Or Ramja Rinpoche is just like going all over the world just for enjoyment. I don't care. This is not the reason I took refuge in him. I took refuge in him because I see something is in him that I don't have. That is what I wanted. And this experience he will always have wherever you go. That is experience I want. The experience that is given to him by Khenpo Tseten. Oh, that I want. Because nobody can deny that one. That's a fact. That he received many things from Khenpo Tseten. That's a fact. And then he is a being, Ramja Rinpoche. That's also a fact. Because the sixth Ramja Rinpoche has a vision of 7th Ramja Rinpoche, and this is 7th Ramja Rinpoche. That's also a fact. That cannot be changed. And then the experience of the meditation about the understanding of the reality, everything, that's also a fact. That cannot be changed. No matter what he does. But that cannot be changed. That is, we call it the complete trust. This is what the devotion is all about. Finally, when you take the refuge to this or that person, then this kind of trust at the end you need to gain, not about how he look, how she look, how he talk, how she talk. This is not at all important. You get the point, huh? This is how the devotion is. Third kind of devotion. So this is a 3. Now, sometimes there's a big question: how can I develop my devotion to a spiritual master? What is the method? If I want to, because if you want to make some new student comes here, for example, and then this new student can ask, how can I have a devotion to Namkha Rinpoche, for example, because you are all Namkha Rinpoche students, so the question can ask the new people who doesn't know. So how can you make it? So therefore, there are 3 processes there. Every student, beginner student, need to practice. The first we call it certainty. I don't know how to put the title, but second we call it seeing extraordinary, and third we call it his experience. These 3 one need to see. Certainty means you need to analyze. Analyzing is very important in the Buddhism, especially in the Nyingma tradition. Like I said yesterday, before the refuge and then between the refuge and then renouncing the samsara, you have one practice called how to follow the spiritual master. So in the text it says you have a three method. You should be very much skillful in how to search the master. You have to be very much skillful in how to follow the master, and then you should be very much skillful in how to apply the experience of master. These three is the key thing in the certainty. So therefore you have to have a analysis about the lineage of the teacher which you are following. Who is he? He is from which lineage, and what kind of meditation he has done, and what kind of teacher he has been followed. These things, and then finally you will get a kind of like a sure, oh, this is the master that has a very pure lineage. Here, many people says, no, I am a very much non-sectarian, therefore I have no lineage. This doesn't work. I'm saying that it doesn't work. This will work for the I don't know, some kind of like a new revolutionaries minded people, we want to destroy all the religion, but we will create a new religion. We will bring some qualities from Christian, some from Buddhism, some from shamanic, some from Hinduism, some from Muslim, and then we will make it a Scientology. It doesn't work. Tom Cruise is not a god, of course. It doesn't work that way. In the Tibetan Buddhism term, we say also rime. You have heard the words rime, and I have seen in some rime center. What is their rime? And I said they are doing kaju, nyingma sachaki. Look, therefore they are saying rime. But what they brought from kaju is something that some qualities from the kaju, some qualities from the giluk, some qualities from the nyingma and sakya, and they make it one. And this is a very much disrespect to kaju, giluk, sacha, and nyingma. You bring what you like, and you just give it what you don't like. This is not rime. Rime is like this Khenpo Tseten is a rime. Jamgen Kongtrul Lode Thai, he is a rime master. Khenpo Tseten Lode is a rime master. Tilgu Khenpo Rinpoche is a rime master. So what is a rime? Rime is when you do kaju, you do 100% kaju. When you do nyingma, you do 100% nyingma. When Khenpo Rinpoche is practicing kaju, he does not put the addition of the virus. It's always when a nyingma master gives teaching in the kaju center, there's little bit always a nyingma expiration goes there. It's very normal. When a kaju master gives in the nyingma center, of course the nyingma's background, kaju's background will come. So little bit virus. But like rime master, they does not apply this one. When like Khenpo Rinpoche, when he keep teaching in the kaju center, he will keep everything what the kaju believes, and he will not put anything addition from nyingma belief. 100% kaju. When he give in the giluk center, he give teachings, and he will put everything the perspective of giluk. He will not put anything addition from nyingma or kaju or such. If you put something, then he is putting some salt in it. The stepmother's things. Like that. So therefore, rime, you have to be very careful. But the lineage is very important. Even Khenpo Rinpoche is rime. He has a lineage. He is a Sheshin. Khenpo Rinpoche is everything, but his reality is Sheshin. Kongtrul Rinpoche is a rime master, but he is a kaju. He was a kaju. It's very same. So, therefore, when you look to the master, you have to look the rime, the lineage, which kind of master he follow, and this will give you a kind of like certainty. Yes, this is the master I can follow. you gain the trust. And then after that one, then you practice the second one. The second one is called pure perception or something like that. That time, when you look to the master, just forget for a second about his physical appearances. And then just look like a non-humanic form, like a divine form. Try to look this one. This can give you some kind of like a exceptional, accepting. You know, just look at for a while, you visualize Namkha Rinpoche, and then instead of his body, you visualize Guru Rinpoche in Namkha Rinpoche. This will inspire you. This is how a practitioner usually approach. You know. And second one. Now third one is called is experience. Experience, you have to always need to look three things in the experience: wisdom, compassion and loving kindness, and his method. These three you have to always look in the teacher's mind. This is the reason you are following. If you see a lot of wisdoms in the teacher's mind, that's good, because this will help you. If you see there's a lot of compassion and love, maybe the expression can be different. Expression can be very simple, or expression can be very wrathful. The love, you know? But it doesn't matter. If love is there, that's enough. You look to this one. Okay? And then finally, the method, the technique. You know, there are many spiritual good master, realized master in the world, Buddhism master. But it does not necessarily mean it is your root master, because that master's technique does not work with you. But the master which you are following, his technique is working. His method is working with you. Therefore, you focalize in his method. Okay, this is working with me. So therefore, when this three is there, then you are easy to connect with the person with which you are trying to connect. Okay? So usually, traditionally, we look through three things: certainty, pure perception, and we give the title kindness. When these three is there, boom, perfect, easy to follow. Okay? I took 7 years to follow Khenpo Rinpoche. All the monks in the monastery criticized me so much. You live in a Khenpo Rinpoche monastery and you don't even take Khenpo Rinpoche as your root master. I said, this is my life. I need a time to see Khenpo Rinpoche. And then after that one, I start to practice Khenpo Rinpoche Ngondro. And then the more I practice his Ngondro, then I start to see, wow, what kind of man is him? Very good man. Because Ngondro express his life. So therefore, when we practice the teacher's advice of meditation, it is coming from his heart. Then we start to know that person. This is also how we develop the devotion. Okay. Is that good? Not good? Then you can tell me, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So like that, in the Tibetan Buddhism, we have a inspirational faith or devotion. We have a longing faith or devotion, and then we have a conviction, kind of trust kind of faith. These three. These three is very much relatively that everybody can do it. And then there is a fourth one, Shirmedokwe Deva. I don't know how to translate Shirmedokwa. Shirmedokwa means unchangeable, something like that. But it's not literally that we can translate that way.
Irreversible faith.
Irreversible.
Well, something like that, yes. Now, this kind of faith is more based on unconditional thing, more based on emptiness thing, more based on the understanding of the reality things, that more based on teacher's mind and your mind are same. When this kind of faith is there, then it's unchanging. You know? But this I don't want to explain here. Maybe I will explain today later or tomorrow. about this faith, because this is more about the understanding of the reality. Okay. Voila. So like that, now you have know that when you practice the refuge, that you need to know the why you practice refuge. Is that you know there's suffering and that can be disturbing. We have a fear, but you can trust to someone like teachers and all like that. So you develop the faith. When these two comes together, then you can take a refuge. It's perfect. Okay. So this is how the process goes on. So now, so these are the fundamental necessary in the practice, and then when in the main refuge, then we have it 4 qualities or 4 aspects that one need to go through in the practice. Okay, the first aspect is attitude. So we will talk about attitude now. I want to make it short with an example, with a story of Buddha. Buddha Shakyamuni has a brother called Nanda. Nanda was he was little bit inspired by Buddha. That's why he became a monk. He liked Buddha so much. He is not a Buddhist practitioner or like that, but he was so much inspired by Buddha's way of living and his miracles and all like that. He loved so much. So he is more the first kind of devotion he had from the 3. But Buddha always, because since he is his cousin brother, he was, and then Buddha always let him sit next to him, and then all the monks down there. It's always some kind of favorable is there. And then this monk Ananda has a girlfriend in the village. Buddha knows everything. And Buddha asked one day, while they were walking, they saw one ugly lady, and Buddha said, "Do you see that ugly lady?" And he said, "Oh, yes. That ugly lady and your girlfriend, which one is more beautiful?" He said, "That ugly lady is too ugly. My girlfriend is so beautiful. You cannot compare." Buddha said, "Okay." After a few months later, Buddha said, "I'm going to heaven. For the first time, I want to take you there with the miracles of my power. I want to take you there. You want to go with me?" He was so excited to go there because he's never been to the heavens, the God's realms. And then with the miracles, zoom, they were there. This new Einstein, new technique which they discovered, from the dark hole, they are already there. It can be possible, we don't know. This miracles power, how they gain this masters, what kind of speed they are using to reach there. It is yet to be proven. So anyway, they reached there. And then Buddha was invited by all the gods, like that. And then Buddha was giving teaching there, and Buddha said, "Okay, since you are not that much in the Dharma, you can just go around and look around." And then Nanda was so happy, and he goes from the room by room in the palace, and he opened one room, according to this is a Hindu kind of logic. In the Hindu logic, like in the Muslim, when you die, you have a 72 virgin is there waiting for you. In the Hindu, it says there are 7 virgins who will wait for you. But maybe it's true, I don't know. Because this is God realm, it's nothing extraordinary, it's not a Buddha or something. So he opened the first door. There was a one God with 7 so much beautiful lady surrounded. And he closed the door, sorry. And he opened another door. There was again God, one God with 7 beautiful lady. He said, "Oh, sorry." And then he did like that for almost like a 20 or 30 doors, And finally he opened the one door. There were 7 beautiful ladies, but there's no God. And he asked to them, oh, what's happening here? I saw all the one God and 7 beautiful ladies, but here you have only beautiful lady with no God. You know, he was so excited. And then this lady said, we are preparing because in the earth because the lifetime in the earth is very short than the God. God is like 1 million's lifetime, and we are only 100 years. You know. So she said, the girl said, we are preparing for the upcoming of the Buddha Shakyamuni's brother. If only he take the vows, if only he become the real monk, after he die, he will come here. If you don't take that vows, then he will never come there. But we expect that he come. We are preparing for him. And he was so happy. And he went to Buddha and said, oh, Buddha, we go back. To earth. And they went back to earth, and Buddha said, actually, what happened? And he said, I saw open all the rooms and gone. And finally I found one room with 7 girls. And there's no God. And then actually, he said, these girls are talking about me. I'm so happy. And Buddha said, but your girlfriend is so beautiful. And he said, no. Comparing to this girl, my girlfriend is nothing. I want to go there. But to go there, I want to take refuge. So Buddha said, okay, you take refuge because you're so curious. You are so much excited to go there. You can take refuge. So he took the refuge vow. Buddha, and then he became a monk. And then after that, Buddha told to the other monks, you and him, he did not say to him, to him, but he said to other monks, you monks and my brother is not same. You took the refuge vow to get out of the samsara because of your fear. You have a different purpose. He took the vow to go to the God's realm. So therefore, you two have a different purpose. So therefore, from now on onwards, you are not engaging much together because you can be influenced, get influenced by him. So you stay separated. So after for a few months later, he was not happy at all because he cannot eat with other monks. No monks is talking with him. He is isolated. He's literally sad. Just like that. And Buddha knows it. And Buddha says one day, okay, I want to go to hell realms. I want you to take you to tour down there. Do you want to go? And he said, oh, okay. Anyway, it's lonely here for me. It's better I go with you. Then they went to the hell realm again with his spirit in the moon. They are there. And then Buddha was again started to give teaching to the yamas, Yama, the god of death, and then his workers and the beings down there. And then Buddha said to him, you can go around and look around. So he went to one big door, open iron door. There was a big kind of like a the jar. You see jar?
What?
The big pot with the flames on it, and thousands of beings are burning alive. So sad, like that. And then he changed another door, again big fire like that. And then at the end he reached to another one door. He opened it. There was nothing. Nobody is there. But there's big pot, and there are workers, preparing the fire, everything, the gas, and then the petrols, and I don't know, everything is preparing. They have to be very strong fire. And he asked them, oh, why are you doing this one? There's nobody inside. And they said, somebody is yet to come here. The Buddha Shakyamuni's brother, he will take the vow to go to heaven. It's a karmic thing. So therefore, he will, after he die, he will go to heaven. He will spend his many lifetime there, but when his karma is finished, he will fall down from there. After that, he will directly come here, and we are preparing for this one. He was so terrified now. And he went back to see Buddha. Buddha, oh, you go back, you go back. And when they reached there, he said, what happened? Oh, I really don't like those girls in the heaven. Because after that one, I'm going to suffer in this fire. I'm really, really afraid. I want to take refuge, that I want to go out of the samsara. So that, this is how Nanda became a very, very good practitioner, because he has seen what is going to happen in his future. You know, when we see that one, then we change the people. This is almost like that. When you hear the news that you have a breast cancer, then you work hard to get the solution. When you hear that you have a brain tumor, then we try to figure out what is the best solution, who is the best doctor that can do this one. This is what we do usually. So same thing, Nanda sees his future, and then this is how he decides to take really, really the refuge, to free from the suffering. So therefore our attitude should be like a Nanda's kind of attitude. You know, it is Kulong. But if you are a Mahayana practitioner, then your attitude should be, it's not only you. I want to take refuge for the benefit of myself and the entire beings who are going to suffer somehow, if not today, but it can be in another day. So therefore, my reason of taking refuge is that I want to liberate myself, the entire being, from the samsara. Then this kind of create in yourself before you take the refuge. I want to take the refuge. The reason is that I feel afraid. I have a lot of faith in you, but my main purpose is that I want to become a Buddha like you. I want to become somebody who is very strong, that can protect oneself and then give a protection to others. That's the main thing that I want to take. This kind of attitude is needed. Okay? So the first we call it attitude. First kind of aspect. Now second kind of aspect, what we need is the time. Usually in the Theravada tradition, when we take refuge, it's until death. I want to take refuge until I die. This is what Theravada takes, one lifetime. They never take until to the enlightenment. It doesn't exist in the Theravada. I don't want to talk about this logic, because there's logic, because according to the Theravada, the vow is physical. Vow is kind of like a substantial.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of like a factor element in the Theravada. It's like really like a dust things in the vow. But in the Mahayana, vow is a mental. So therefore, if it is mental, once you die, it can go with you. But if it's physical, once you die, it will not go. That's why Theravada always take a vow that one lifetime, until I die, I take refuge in you. Because once you die, this vow is kind of like physical, kind of like a dust that leaves behind your body and you go away. Anyway, this is philosophical debate, so we don't need here. But as a Mahayana practitioner, then when we take refuge, I want to take refuge until I enlighten. So that means this commitment which we make today can stay with you until your consciousness exists. But consciousness exists all the time. The timing. And then after that one, in the practical level, then we call it line ngane semne. Now line ngane semne means it's more about the calming. Before you do all these activities, then you have to make it line. Line is the posture. Line means the calming of bodily calming, vocally calming, and mentally calming or calm. These three, you need to do it. So how to do it? You do this one. From bodily, it is the same logic, same traditional, the 7 posture of meditation. 7 posture. If you can, you make the Vajrasana. I don't think you can do it. If you cannot, you can do it Padmasana. Padmasana is like this, or it's like this. This is Vajrasana. This is Padmasana. Okay. Or if you cannot do it, then little bit like this, like Tara. You open one leg inside, one leg outside. This also you can do it. And if you cannot do it, then you do it like Maitreya Buddha. Sitting in the throne, like him, 2 hands there, 2 feet is the same. This is Maitreya Buddha posture. Maitreya Buddha in a form of a future Buddha. He is sitting like that. You can do it. And if you cannot do that one, yeah, sleeping is also okay. So, but if you go to the traditional posture, then you sit Vajrasana or Padmasana or like a Tara kind of, just manifesting sana, this kind of posture you can do it. And then your hand, usually I've seen most of the time, because Khenpo Tseten's hand is long, so I've seen most of the time he does like that, and then this one can touch down there. For him it's beautiful, For us it's a little bit difficult, but I just most of the time practice like that. That's also okay. But usually you can do this one like this, like that. So this sign a ball, a begging ball. It signs simplicity, like that. And then your backbone should be straight, not too much straight. Because if you make too much straight, your concentration is too much on the physical form that you are trying to hold, and then it will give you stress. So not too much, not too like that, like this. And then after that one, you show a little bit chest, little forward, So and then your hand is little bit like this. Sometimes we call it iron chain. When your body is covered by the iron, then it becomes like this, It should be like that. Like that. And then after that one, this one should be little bit bended down. I don't know how much degree we say, 90 degree. Anyway, little bit down like this, not too much straight. Little bit down like this, the neck, like that. So when you bend little bit down, usually we say there are 2 kind of wind which goes there. It opens usually if we like that. It flows very well. So for this reason, bend a little bit down. And then your eyes usually look towards the nose tail. So not too much high, too much down. But this is traditional. But you can, if you feel depression, then you can look up. Because some people, when you look too much down, you can feel depression also. So, but traditionally, look to your nose tail. This is the meditation posture with so therefore your eyes is a little bit open. And then your tongue close up. That. I don't know much more reason, but I think in a very much deep meditation process, maybe it can give you a confusion if you are breathing in two different paths, from nose and from the mouth, because just now we don't feel much because we are not concentrating on it. But when you concentrate on it, even we can feel the wind entering from the ear also, when you are too much concentrated. So when you feel so many wind is coming from many parts, you get confusion. Which one I have to make more concentrated on? Like you are meditating on the sound meditation. Just now you just hear the sound of this one, but if you stay like 1 hour in the sound meditation, you can start to hear about the sound all over there. If you stay like 2 hours, you can start to hear the insects, small insects which are making sound, which just now we don't here, but you can hear that one. After too many of sound when you hear, you get little bit confused of which sound I want to stay with. Same thing happens. So maybe that's the reason why you have to close this one. So this will block the wind coming from the mouth. And then your concentration always stay from the nose. And then this one go to the heart. So therefore physical calming is very important in the meditation, if you can. If you cannot, usually I always say, you can, if you don't respect the sixth posture, it's okay, but you have to respect the seventh. The seventh is one of the seven is that staying your backbone straight, because backbone straight give you a kind of like a open mind. This will not block you. If you are blocked, then either you go to the thought or either you go in the deep down. So therefore backbone straightening is very important in the meditation. Okay. And then also Ramjan Rinpoche said, in the time of Buddha, when the practitioners, they practice in the forest, very much in the posture. And sometimes there were some monkeys, they just come and then they get confused at the beginning, and this monk is no more moving for hours and hours, and sometimes the monkey used to sit next to them, doing like same posture, imitating. And it says some of the monkey even gain the realization, although they don't know about the meditation, but just they respect the posture. So like that, posture has so much capacity to bring. Sometimes we said, if you do the right posture, half of the meditation is already done. Like that. So therefore, the posture is very important in the bodily. And then ngane in the vocal. Then you have to concentrate on the breathing. So in the ngak speech, usually it is associated with the breathing. So therefore, in that time, then you start to practice the breathing meditation, if you can. Now, breathing meditation has so much tradition. How you do here? You do?
Yes.
How you block the nose?
No, I don't block the nose.
You don't do this one?
I don't block the nose.
So it's
Very simple.
You do this one?
Well, we were shown, we don't really practice it. We were shown sometimes these kind of things.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yes. So according to not all Nyingma but Longchen Nyingtik tradition or Khenpo Tseten tradition, then usually because this is not salung, so therefore we can do it. This is purifying the wind, so it's more vocal. So that time, usually this and two here, this are, we call it the door of the emotions. Whenever the emotion is active here, it says these are very much active, vibration is there. So this is the door of the attachment. This is the door of the anger, hatred. And this two here is the door of the ignorance. So usually when a practitioner, when it's state, then we don't pressure so much. Just simply, just small, little bit pressure like that, like him. Very simple. We put this one. Okay. So this is like that. And then usually we can do 3 breath, 6 breath or 9 breath meditation. Like that. Then usually from the tradition of Khenpo Tseten, instead of this one, then we put this one up there like that. And then 1, 2, and then 3. The first one when you do, slowly fuck, very strong. Secondly, we do few slowly, strong. And third one, short but strong. But your body need to be shaking like that. I hope, something like that. So this is very simple kind of doing. So when you breathe this one out, then usually the wind goes from here. So this the wind usually has a color also, the red color. When it goes from here, it has kind of like a white color. When it goes from both nose, it has kind of like a blue color. That means attachment, ignorance, and attachment, hatred, and ignorance. Okay, so like that. With this one, then you clean this one. It's more about the speech thing. Okay, so this one one used to do also. Okay. I'm not going into detail. One can practice that one. And then after that one, semne, the mental one. The mental is more about you sit like that, and you calm everything. Just let it calm, like you are, you clean the room with a broom, and then all the dust is outside, and you just let a window open and everything, and then you slowly calm down, like that. When it comes to the mental, then you stay silent. Do silence meditation. Think nothing. Don't meditate. But you don't need to think also. So no meditation, no thinking at the same time. It's a meditation actually. No meditation, no thinking is a meditation. Okay? So like that, let it go. Everything is there. Accept the things, just like that. Usually, take time. If you want to practice very good, you need to take time. Easy going. So like that for a few minutes, just let it go. And then if you want to more concentrate, or if something is distracting you, you need to be very much focalized. Then you close your eyes and you visualize kind of like a sphere, like there, exactly there. You see, like this, you visualize like a sphere in the center, perfect, there. Or either you visualize in your heart this sphere and stay with this one for a while, and this will let your mind settle down. Okay, we take a little bit break.
Mandrakriksumnane chuluna, Putanya Shirupa Janeta, Sasana Chimpanana, Metuki Shisho, Kiawakanto Yonda Pramata, Brahmechiki Peladan Chune, Shatanam Kiriyatan Raksoti, Rojasanki Kopan Yosho, this is what the Shamaya, Mamapalaya, this is what the Pinapa, this is the Mebava, Sutokaya Mebava, Sutokaya Mebava, Anabrakana Bava, Saroshi Mepayata, Sarakamasan, Lam Siyam Puruhum, Bhagavan, Savata Kata Pechapaman, Satanshipavama, Samaya Sato.
Okay, like 10 minutes.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so when we practice the refuge, we sit down like 2-3 minutes. We try to figure out the devotions and the reason of why I am going to take refuge. And then after 2-3 minutes, then we develop our attitude towards all the entire beings, that I'm going to practice refuge. I'm going to take the vow of refuge for the benefit of myself and all the beings who are suffering in the samsara, who have a lot of fear in the samsara, that really want to be free from the suffering. For those beings, I'm going to take refuge for them. You need to make this kind of attitude develop. And then for the beings who have a mistaken path, for them I'm going to take refuge. For the beings who mistake between enlightenment and non-enlightenment method. For them, I'm going to take refuge. For them, I will make a commitment from now onwards until my enlightenment. I'm going to take refuge to Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, to Guru, Deva and Dakini, to Dharmakaya, Sambhavakaya and Nirmanakaya. So like that, 2-3 minutes, you make a commitment seriously, if you have time. And after that one, then you make a ready posture, sit little bit silently, but at the same time, you can do this same time, the physical posture, and then stabilizing your mind. For this one, the breath need to be concentrate. If you can, you do this breathing. If you cannot, you just sit down and breathe 7 times, deeply and profound and slowly. Minimum 7 times, maximum 21 times. After that one, then if you want to stabilize your mind, then focalize in your heart center or in front of you, a kind of like a chakra, kind of like a sphere. Inside you can visualize a kind of like a letter, syllables. If you cannot, a color, blue color, white color, or red color, you can visualize in heart center. Like that. If you feel little bit this is too complicated, then just stay in the silence. No meditation, but no thinking either. We just stay in silence for few seconds, few minutes. So, in total, this will take like 7 minutes from beginning to the here, maximum. In 7 minutes, you will all do this one. And the more you do this one, then it will the minute can reduce. At the beginning, you take 7 minutes. So the more you do, then you become more used to it. Then it will become 5 minutes. Then it will become 3 minutes. Then it will become 1 minute. In 1 minute, you do all, because you are now used to with this understanding. Usually, traditionally, practitioners always do like that. They just sit down there. In the monastery, of course, when there's a group of monks, then we don't do it. We just sit down and then we start shouting. But when you are when you are alone in the retreat, meditating, you sit down there, relax, like that, and then you think, process by process, you go on, because you are all by yourself. You are the boss, because you are alone. You can do whatever you want. Why do you want to finish so early and go and watch tennis in the television, or watch a football if you are a man, and I don't know if you are a woman, then watch a TV series.
Soap series.
Yeah, soap stories. It doesn't need to be so much stress. Take your time. Cool, slowly. This is how one does. The moment stress comes, it's gone. Practice is gone. So therefore, be relaxed for yourself. So like that, these 3, the bodily calming, speech way of calming, and mentally calming, one need to do. And then after that one, if you can, then sometime traditionally we recite Lama Jangbe. You heard Lama Jangbe? Lama Jangbe means appealing, calling the master from
Yes.
this one. You do, huh?
Yes.
This you can do it. If the melody is so much sentimental, it's even better. You recite in some in the time, like in the Miphonambuja, Milarepas for Tanka, Usually Milarepas we don't see like that. Because this is the last moment he thought of Marpa. And Marpa already passed away in the coming. He is in somewhere very far. But he could not meet Marpa, and he was very sad. And he remembered his teacher. Marpa already died. So therefore Milarepa is like that, And then calling his teacher, remembering. It's called Lama Jambe. It's making more sentimental. It's making more touch. It's making more feeling like how much I miss you. These kind of things. And then also like Ugen Tokwe Rinpoche, you know Ugen Tokwe Rinpoche? He's a very serious man, at the same time very funny man, you know. Somebody asked him a question. What is devotion for you? And Ugen Tokwe Rinpoche said, oh, I don't know devotion. I don't understand really about devotion. When I was young, when my root master passed away, Chole Rinpoche passed away, the previous one, and his reincarnation came 3 years old, and I was there. He said, "This when first time I met him in the monastery, this 3-year-old boy hit a hand on my head. He said nothing. He said, and then this 3-year boy is crying so much at midnight, you know. And then Ugen Tokwe Rinpoche need to run to his room and then play with him, with the child, at 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes he said, Ugen Tokwe, you come up. He goes running up and nothing is happening there. He told me to play in the movie. I play in the movie. He said, I go there. I went there. He said, come here. I come here. He said, I did not complain a single word. Whatever he said, I just followed. And he said, I don't know what is devotion it is. Maybe this is the devotion. He said. And then, conclusion, if I conclude it, what is devotion? He said, in English then. Until here he's speaking in Tibetan, and then he make a conclusion. In English words, if I say, it's just simply, I love you. When you love, you do everything. That's devotion. He never complained, he said. So like that, this kind of feeling you try to generate to whom you are going to take refuge. Okay. So until here. We have done, and then also until the enlightenment timing, you know. So now, after that one, now to whom we are going to take refuge? This aspect we are going to talk. We have talked about the attitude aspect. We have talked about the timing aspect, the period aspect, and then now we are going to talk about to whom we are going to take refuge. So traditionally, we all know when we take the refuge. We take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. In a Mahayana understanding, we take refuge to not only Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, but we take the refuge to Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya. But in a Vajrayana aspect, we don't take only to them, but we also take refuge to Guru, Lama, Yidam, Deva, and Dakini, Khandro. Lama, Yidam, Khandro. We take refuge to these 3. So in total, from the Nyingmapa perspective, we have a 9 image. Kaju also have, they also have, but they don't so much express this one. But Nyingma, we really make it 9, really 9. So, to whom we take refuge is these 9 object of the refuge. Usually we take the refuge. So this we all know. Now question is that, when we take refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, how is our perspective? How we have to perceive those Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha? That's the most important in it, taking refuge. Otherwise, you don't understand at all. So, what is Buddha? That's the biggest question. Now, we are in a very much deep process. Now, we are no longer this first or second level of faith. We are on the third one. The trust, or what do you say? The
irreversible faith. This is the 4th.
Yeah, we are in the 3rd and 4th. So when it comes to this level, then your perception need to change. When you see Buddha, you are not seeing about what the person who came to 2,500 years ago, that physical body. We are not talking about it at all. We are talking about his experiences. So when we see Buddha, when we say, I take refuge to the Buddha, we are not talking, simply not talking about somebody who died of diarrhea. Buddha died of diarrhea. He had a diarrhea and he died. It's laughing, huh? Yeah, it's like that. But and then the reason why he died is even funnier. He ate a pork because somebody offered him a pork, and he got a diarrhea. But he was very old, that time. But if we look to these things, it looked like a very humanic thing. But we are not looking to this aspect. This is no longer interesting now. We are talking about his understanding of the reality. We are talking about his enlightenment. So when we look to Buddha in this kind of understanding, then we look in Tibetan we call it Rangden and Shenden, for benefit for oneself and benefit for other, for like the psychologists. Psychologists are very much capable of helping other. But they are very much weak of helping themselves. They don't know how to help themselves when they are in trouble. But not only psychologists, everybody, When we have I can give a lot of advice to other people because this is no longer my problem. But when my problem comes on me, then I need a refuge. This is what happened with me with Ramjo Rinpoche in 2012. I was very sick. I almost died. I don't know. I told you.
Yeah.
I told you, huh? And then Ramjo Rinpoche, he helped me so much. It's like that. So therefore, when we look to the Buddha, there are 3 qualities for himself to protect himself, and 3 qualities to protect others. Like that. So this always everybody needs. If I want to be helping all the beings, I need a protection to myself also. So the first is called primordial Buddha. When we look to the Buddha, when we take refuge, we are taking refuge to the primordial reality of Buddha. So what is primordial reality Buddha? Is that when a practitioner or when a person attain the higher state of the mind, when that state is no longer a thought, when that state is beyond thought, when that state is no longer 2 plus 2 is 4, when that state is 2 plus 2 is 5 maybe, something that cannot be logical, it's beyond logic. When this kind of things happen, that kind of nature we call it, primordial Buddha. Because for us, we are like a blind people, that we can, if a blind man by nature, from the beginning, by birth, he has heard so much about the light or white color. Now he can give an explanation million times. He will say, I can ask you, a blind man, what is white for you? Oh, white. White is something not red. It is logical. Yes, it's true. He can say, white is something like a white on the wall, like a paper white. It's true. He can say, white is like a, I don't see any white now. This white, plate white, the ceiling white, the scarf, I say this one, scarf white, or shirt white. These are all logical. But blind man will never experience what is white. He can give thousands of explanations, but he will never know. He will never come to the conclusion of what really white it is, because he has never seen it. So like that, when we are in a very much intellectual, we will never come. Our intellectual may be very much logical, but we will never come to the conclusion. Primordial Buddha is something beyond that one, something beyond thought, when he is no longer a thought. This is what Buddha has answered when somebody asks you, are you a god? Who are you? You know, the Buddha's story. Somebody asks you, who are you? Who are you? Because he was expecting that the man was expecting that this man say something. Because whenever we say, who are you? Automatically in the time it goes to the caste suddenly. In those times, always caste was important. He thought like, I'm a king caste or this one. So the man asks you, who are you? Are you a Brahmin? Buddha said nothing. Are you a noble? He said nothing. Are you a untouchable? This one, Buddha said nothing. And this man was very much upset, and he said, are you a god? And Buddha said nothing. Are you the musician of the god? He said nothing. And then finally he was so upset, this man, if you are no god, if you are no caste people, then what are you? Then finally only Buddha gave an answer. I just awake. This was his answer. So therefore, when your thought becomes beyond thought, that is called Primordial Buddha. Which is no longer a mixture of the emotions. That kind of person that we can trust, because that kind of person can, if they give you everything, because they have nothing to lose. So this is what we call it Primordial Buddha. Yeah, that's one example given by Dzogchen Rinpoche. It's very interesting. He said, when born, I think I told you or not, I don't remember, but he said, when born is shining like a diamond, no, you are, what he say? You are a dog. When born is shining like a diamond, that means you are a dog. When diamond is shining like a diamond, then you are what? You are a girl. Girl loves diamond. So when diamond shine like a diamond, then you are a girl. When everything and nothing shines like a diamond, then you are what? You are a Buddha. So therefore, from this primordial perspective, everything is perfect. There's nothing which is not perfect. There's no impure thing. This is how primordial Buddha it is. So anything, whatever we say, we tell him, you are a bad Buddha, you are a good Buddha, he doesn't, his arrogance doesn't go up. Where we say bad Buddha, he doesn't get angry. He's like a space. That is why we call it primordial. So you can trust this kind of beings, because this kind of beings does not take anything very much personally. It's like that. So therefore, when you look to the Buddha, first we look his primordial understanding. This is one point. And then second, it is like the innate nature. The innate nature. So innate nature usually, some of my friends in the monastery always used to say, if you are ugly, he says, don't look to the mirror. You will get sad. If you are handsome and beautiful, don't look to the mirror. You will become arrogant. So it says, it is better to look in. Unless our friends say, better to look in the mind. Our mind, if you know our mind, it is inside pure, outside pure. So therefore, here now we are talking about the purity. Before we are talking about the clarity, now we are talking about the purity. So when we look to this Buddha, Buddha is inside, is so much vast and pure and accepting. Everything is accepted, is there. And then when even he manifests, he is like that. He is never changing. This kind of a very good person. That means so much kind of like a billions of cells of love and kindness is there, like a dog when it is wet, and then when the sun is shining, and then dog shake like that. Then what we will see? Billions of particles of light, like that. So this kind of things you need to see in Buddha. Like that. Then you will take refuge. Of course, this one I want, this kind of thing, innate nature. And then third one is called Rangrik, self-awareness. That means Buddha knows everything. He is just aware of everything. This kind of thing. So these three things will help himself. This thing will make him not get into trouble. Do you get it?
Mm-hmm.
You can be very much compassionate. You can have a wisdom. You have a lot of technique to help other people. You can help other people. But when you have these three things, it is not necessary that this will help you to deal with your own problem. You get it? Because compassion is faced to other people. You can give the love. But if they don't give you back love, then compassion is not helping. But these three things can help you. Because in your deep mind, you don't care anything if he or she give me love back or not. If your mind is like that, then you are okay, you are happy always. Otherwise, if your mind is like you give a lot of love to other people, and you expect at the same time, then you have to expect that this is not going to happen that way. So therefore, you need to have some protection to oneself. The best protection that can give you is the understanding of the emptiness. So, what to say? Primordial Buddha, innate nature, and self-awareness is no other than emptiness, actually, the understanding of emptiness. So these three things for oneself. If you don't get it, you can ask me this question again, okay? Because these are very, very important in a practitioner's life. Because for me, giving advice is very easy. Dealing my own problem is difficult. So having a lot of compassion cannot help me solve my problem. I have to be realistic in myself. I have to believe in impermanent. And if I can, then I have to be much more need an understanding of the emptiness. Then at the end, what is there? This kind of things. If you don't have this one, then you can become a stupid, compassionate person. You give, at the end you regret. Like that. So these three things is for oneself, to have oneself. But Buddha does have this one. So he is not stupid, that means, to whom we are going to take refuge. And then thus he has a capacity to help me. Now this you have to look three things. Now in the three things is for other, that means for me, when I took refuge. So the first thing is called Khenpo or Chempa. Khenpo means wisdom. When you look to the Buddha, then you look to a wisdom that he can benefit, he will help me or not. So first thing we look to wisdom. So what is wisdom? Wisdom is that when Buddha is enlightened, because before we talk about he is beyond thought, so therefore he does not think. So if he don't think, the question comes, does he know about me? I exist also. Because he is like a robot. He's like a robot. Robot? He's like a robot. Everything is fixed there, so he doesn't think me. Then I'm stupid to follow him. Because he does not think. He has no emotion, like a robot. It can be like this question comes if you really ask more question into it. Because Buddha is beyond thought. He cannot think. So when this comes, now the answer comes, oh, Buddha does have wisdom. This wisdom does not experience the suffering, but this wisdom has a knowing. For example, he and me are very good friend, Boddhicitta friend, and then I have a little bit kind of upper hand, like I can read the people's mind, for example, and he is sleeping. Okay, so he is having a nightmare in the dream, and I can see it. So I can see him, he is having difficulties with his nightmare in his dream. But I cannot see what kind of, I cannot experience his nightmare, the object of his nightmare, the ghost. Because ghost for me is not real. You get it? His ghost is not real for me, but for him it is real. But his way of having nightmare feeling, this for me is real. For him is also real. Therefore, I can see his pain. But I can see the reason of his pain is not real. It is a very stupid thing. So this kind of Buddha can see when they look to the beings that they are creating their own samsara which never been existed. Pity. They see how funny this samsara it is. Samsara is no longer there, but they believe samsara, and what you believe, you become. This is what we talked before. And they believe there's samsara, and there's samsara. This is what to say, people who has gone through a lot of traumas, and then they start to believe, and then they always terrified of there's ghosts, paranoid people, happen, and they believe and they see things. This happened. So same thing, we samsaric being has believed so much that there is kind of like a samsara. Then we see the samsara, but Buddha knows that one, that we are having a big nightmare. That knowing is called wisdom. But not only that one, Buddha knows that we created this hell, and Buddha knows we are suffering within our created hell, which never been existed. Buddha knows that one. So that knowing is called wisdom, because that means Buddha understand me. Buddha understand my problem. He knows my problem. So this will give me a what? Confidence. No? Oh, am I taking time? What is the last time?
About now.
Okay, I will just finish fastly this one. Okay. So like that. So Buddha knows this one. Now, therefore, we look wisdom in the Buddha. Now, after that one, even if you know, sometimes we know the people has a problem, but we say, this is not my problem, so I don't care. I go away. These things happen. So this kind of doubt comes in the mind when you are in the very much deep, when you take refuge. I take refuge to this person. Does he knows my problem? Okay, he knows my problem. But he is really willing to help me. The second question comes. So second answer is, he is compassionate or not? He has a love or not? He has a empathy feeling or not? This kind of question comes. So the answer is always like, how can Buddha avoid when he sees people being stumbling in the samsara with no reason, like a child when they build a castle of the sand near the ocean. When ocean comes and this sand goes down, the child when it start to cry, because for the child this is the most important things that he have. But for the adult, my poor son, my poor daughter, he or she is crying. Okay, let me go and help him. Although for you it's just nothing, but for him it's very important. That is why it automatically comes there for this one, when you know it. When you don't know, you don't have much. But when you know, It's not important thing, but he is so much suffering or something for this reason, then Buddha cannot avoid not having compassion for the being. So therefore, yeah, he knows it. Therefore, he cannot avoid. So, this is the second reason we see compassion with him. And then third reason is the method. So what kind of technique he used? Yeah, he may be, the person I am taking the refuge may be very much wise and wisdom he has. Maybe he's so much compassionate, but he don't know how to treat me. He don't know how to deal with me. Therefore, no matter what kind of effort he does, maybe it will not help me. This possible is there, you know. For some Tibetan master you follow, you know, for example, very famous Tibetan master, like in Din, where she was born. There was a Tibetan master who came there from the Gelug, Geshe. And I heard he stayed like 10 years, something like that, and he died there. And then I asked the man, did you receive teaching and everything from him? And they said, no, we did not receive any teaching. And I said, that's very shame. That Geshe was a very, very good Geshe, but maybe the communication is not there. Because he don't speak French, because the other don't understand Tibetan, so that is the reason he could not help much. So maybe a teacher is very, very high, but communication is not there. This can give you a difficulties to make you understand the things. Maybe the teacher who live in the East has no idea of the Western mentality. This happens. And he just gives something like that, and for you it's completely stupid. I wish what to say, Western Lama comes and Western Rinpoche comes, and many Tulkus from the East, you know, when the Rinpoche, when they die, they come as a Yangtze here, you know. Then this have a Western mentality that they can understand you. Someday you wish of that one. I think so. Right? Because you need that somebody that understand you. This is called method. So therefore, the person who I take refuge can he understand me, and not only understand, but he has a kind of technique that he can give to me, that can help me, provide me. Like that. So this kind of things, one need to look in the master. For example, Buddha Shakyamuni, when he enlightened, he became enlightened in Bodh Gaya. What happened next? What did he do?
He goes to the forest.
No. He was so much excited. Then what happened next?
Right. They didn't understand him.
He went to the village to give teaching. This ultimate experience, you know. He just first teaching he gave is same machi, the same raji, yes alone. There's no mind. The nature of the mind is the clarity. Nobody understood. This man is crazy, he's stupid. Nobody understood. Then he went back, he was depressed, Buddha. Really, he was depressed. Maybe not, I'm adding some salt. But he went back because he know his technique is not working. He know he received something very good, but nobody is willing to accept. So he did what he said to himself, that I am not going to come back. So he stayed 9 weeks, 49 days. 49 days, 7 weeks. 7 weeks. 7 weeks, 49 days? Yeah, he stayed 7 weeks in the forest. Only then, Brahma and Shiva, Brahma and Shiva, they came with a conch and then other, I don't know, two things, you know. This is what the offering system comes. You know, now we have, whenever teacher give teaching, there's kind of like these fruits, you know. These are a symbolic of that Brahma and Vishnu has done to Buddha. They make offering of this the Dharma Chakra and conch. And then they request Buddha, please, you shouldn't stay there, this one. You should give teaching. When you give teaching, because this Hindu master, they know the Hindu people, you know. So when you give teaching, you have to little bit come down to their level and give them teaching. This is how then Buddha start to give Four Noble Truth. Because Four Noble Truth is really our level. And we understand better this Four Noble Truth. You know? So this is how it happened. This is called the method. Because same much it is. There's no mind. The nature of the mind is clear light. It doesn't make much sense and it doesn't help anybody at the beginning. But at the end it helps. But the process has to go through Four Noble Truth. And Buddha knew that one, and then he helped many people that time. This is called the method. So like that, when we look to the Buddha, then we look three things that will make him untouchable from the emotions, and three things that can be very much helpful for us. When we see these six things in him, then that is the person we can take refuge. So we see Buddha like this. Okay, we stop here.
Andra Krishna, Nashukuna, Kutan Yeshira Pajaneva, Sashan Nejashan Penyanena, Yame Tuki Tiki Rosishu, Keva Kinto Yanda Lamata, Remecheke, Bella Lichini, Satana Kiyanten Rasuni, Deutsche Sanki Kopanya Dokshu, Bezżota Samaya, Manopalaya, Bezżoty Nopa, Tyszedrydemy Bała, Sutokajemy Bała, Czubokajemy Bała, Anoraktamy Bała, Sarvasidi Mefajnoca Salakarma Susa, Tidam Żyjam Guruhum, Ho Bhagavan, Savatata Katata Jabame Musate Zivavama, Samaya Sato, So, we start again at 2:30. And for people who like to join us, we're going to have some lunch with Rinpoche near the Albert Heijn, which is quite close from here. So there's a place in front near the street where we can have some lunch. So, whoever wants to join us. 2:30? Yeah,